Whatever happened to the days when an app was like maybe prosciutto and melon or fried calamari or baked clams? That's an app. I'm telling you, these phones, and these apps and social media is just destroying the world. But now these things that to me is destroying society is on my turf in the wine area, and now I got to talk about it because now it's affecting me and my wine industry. Hey, I'm Larry Baker. How are you? I'm a certified sommelier, level 2 with the Court of Master Sommeliers here in South Florida at the beautiful downtown studio in the home apartment here. How many times in a restaurant, when I was a sommelier in many restaurants and concepts, did I go through listening to the desires of the guest, the budget of the guest, and I'm sure fellow sommeliers could identify with it, and they choose the wine that I recommend, and I bring it out properly and present it. Here's your 2011 Domaine Seneschal Chateauneuf du Pape from the Rhone Valley in France, from the southern Rhone in France. And they say, very good. Could you stop 1 second, sir? Yes. This happens every day of my life, by the way, in retail. Yes, I want to take a picture. Oh, you'd like for me to pose for a picture? No, just the bottle. Oh, okay. I'm not that great looking, so I can understand just wanting to take a picture of the bottle of wine and get me out of it. But they're not doing that to remember the bottle or the memory. They're doing it because they want to see what some phone app says about it. And they'll reject the wine if the phone app doesn't rate it. That would be similar to be sitting with a restaurant, in any restaurant, and the waiter tells you what he or she had for lunch that day and highly recommends that special for you, and it sounds delicious, except you go on Yelp or some kind of TripAdvisor or whatever these things are app, and somebody says the special, the osso buco today, you didn't like it. And then you say, no, I don't want to believe the waiter. The waiter's sitting there, the server is tasting it, is trying to create an experience for you. They don't want you to be unhappy. They want a better gratuity from you by creating an experience. That's what a server serves, not food and wine. They serve an experience, okay? And a good waiter would recommend something according to your likes and dislikes, but what you express to them, or maybe you like everything, and then you go ahead and even though they say it's fantastic and you should have this, and you hesitate because you want to check your phone and to see what some app says, some third-party app, and see some reviewer says the osso buco sucks. The whole food sucks. Let's just walk out now. We heard great reviewers, professional critics say it was amazing in your local paper, but no, the app. Who, as Jerry Seinfeld would say, who are these people? Who are these people? Not you, the customer. Who are these people that you're listening to? Now, I'm not saying a sommelier or any reviewer of anything. A movie reviewer, maybe you love the movie, they hate the movie, or opposite. Or that a food reviewer, a food critic says the restaurant sucks and you think it's fantastic, okay? But let's say for me, on a professional reviewer, on a wine reviewer, I used to trust Robert Parker Jr. on Bordeaux only. I never trusted his reviews. My palate didn't match up with his. There's Jeb Dunwick, there's Sean Sullivan in Wine Enthusiast in Washington State. I used to like Harvey Steinman when he was doing that beat for Wine Spectator magazine. You find somebody, at least a reviewer, that understands your palate, that's a professional wine taster, and it seems to match up with what you taste in that wine. And then I could see following that reviewer and getting an idea, because that reviewer, every wine you followed from that personal reviewer seems to be for your personal taste. Okay, so when we have a relationship in a restaurant, maybe it's your first time, but I did go to school for this and take many exams. And as my doctor says, his medical degree beats my Google search. As people come in and tell the doctor they disagree with their opinion because Google says that this is no good. So he has a sign in his office that says, my medical degree beats your Google search. And my sommelier certification, without sounding cocky, well, it may not be perfect 100% of the time, but if you really express to me and I sample you on some wines and I see how you react to those flavor profile, I can tell you, I got a 99.9% of being better than some, excuse my Yiddish here, some schmuck on a stupid app, that you're taking pictures of and wondering and rejecting my opinion, people who read wine labels, on the back of the wine labels, they say the same thing every year. What does that mean, the wine label? These are wineries, okay, that have to sell their wine, and on the back of the label every year they're going to say, this Riesling is delicious with flavors of apricots and Washington apples and all that, and you're going to say, oh, I like apples, so I'll buy that. When there's nobody around, maybe you got to resort to something like that, but when you have a sommelier in a restaurant, he's telling you, or she's telling you, that this is the flavor profile you're looking for. I don't recommend that wine because you want a dry Riesling, and this one is a little semi-sweet or very sweet, a Spätlese or whatever. They're the ones. But okay, find a relationship with somebody you have in a retail store or in a restaurant. Just like you trust the waiter, you should trust the waiter over that. If you were playing cards, like 4 of a kind, or 2 pair beats for whatever, I don't even know how to play poker, because I'm not a poker expert. I'm a wine expert, or at least better. I'm not saying and don't misunderstand me again, I'm going to get letters here. I'm not saying wine expert, just like a sports handicapper is going to be better than you picking a horse or you picking a wine. What I'm saying, or that any reviewer out there is having a better review than what you like because they don't know you. But I have at least a 100% chance, I'm not even going to go 99% chance of listening to you and tasting you and sampling you, of making a recommendation that you're going to like better than going onto a phone app or a website and looking at whatever, wine.com, and seeing what they say about it, or another merchant says about it, or Joey says, the cashier says this, okay? Because every wine I've ever recommended to anybody in restaurants, I have personally tasted, in many cases, visited the winery, and I know the wine like the back of my hand. I taste every vintage of a new wine that I recommend. If I don't like it, I pull my recommendation off of that wine, even if it's the same winery, even if they're personal friends of mine. And that, even if you think that this is just a clerk in a store, the clerk in a store still has a better chance than taking a picture of which phone app. I'm not even going to mention the name. There's many out there, but that phone app, when you say, I said, who says this wine is only 3.2 stars? I say it's 5 stars, or however their rating system, or this point is 91 points in this wine community. Who is that person? They go, well, let me see, it tells you. They have 23 reviews on this app, and they are in Australia, and their name is Bobby. Do you know Bobby? Does Bobby know you? Who are these people? Okay, so you're listening to some stranger who's a tire mechanic somewhere in Australia, but the person that hand tasted the wine in the location, the restaurant or the store, their opinion means nothing after conversing with you and being right there present, and the sommelier certification and all that, and listening to what you like and what you didn't like and wines that you've had. That's no good. But Bobby, who's got 23 reviews on your phone app, when you take a picture, if they say it's no good, it's no good. But there are people literally that come into restaurants and go down or take pictures of bottles in every store. I've got husbands and wives that go to stores and literally don't care about what any reviewer in a magazine says that they reviewed before. They actually put more weight onto taking pictures of every bottle. Honey, I found one that's 4.1. Buy it. I don't care. Who said it was 4.1? Well, Joey. What's he do? I don't know. It says he's a jeweler, Italian jeweler, and he's in Milan. So he must know this wine from from France. Joey says it's good. Joey gave it 3.8. I don't understand. These are strangers. Anybody over 21 with a smartphone, and there's hundreds and hundreds of million worldwide, could sit and play around with this toy and give this 3 stars, 2 stars. You don't know these people from Adam. They don't know you, but you'll trust that over the person that hand selected the wine. Enough. When's the last time somebody recommended a phone and said that it made a good phone call? Okay, no, they talk about the camera, how amazing the animojis they could make, how it does this fast, they could do handwrite, send you text messages with explosion. Okay, do that, have all the fun you want. Post check-in to every restaurant, tell your wife you love you on Instagram instead of telling her you love her in person. Talk about what you're doing on a private date and check in to every plate you're eating and this course you're eating. When you're on a trip, tell us when you're going to the bed. That's your business. But now, don't mess around with the wine industry, okay? These apps are absolutely ridiculous. And again, the bottom line is that the reviewers in the magazines, Wine Enthusiast, Wine Spectator, any magazine you might read, beer from Untapped or Cigar Aficionado, no. But you do find a reviewer that maybe has your kind of taste in any of those items. Maybe you like a chef. And the best thing I've ever ate on the Food Network, and you think Bobby Flay likes what you like, or Michael Simon. Okay, maybe it won't be a perfect match, but certainly better than Googling, that burger place that they said, or Yelping, and somebody says it all sucked. I think I would listen to Michael Simon first before I listen to some stranger maybe they never ate there. Maybe they're a competition. They just put a bad review about that burger place. So you understand what I'm saying? Stop with the apps. Put a little bit more faith in the people in the hospitality industry, who get to know you and build a relationship with that, like your butcher, your fishmonger, and throw these apps in the garbage, okay? And don't give me the excuse that you use it to remember the wines you drank, because that's why you take pictures. No, that's a closet app user. That's a closet app user, because you can form an album, whether you have an Android or and put wines I drank, label it, and take a picture of every wine so you can remember it, and they'll be in all that album and the date that you had it, and you remember those wines. No, you're using the darn app because you want to see what some British guy said in Manchester about the wine and has no idea if you know this person, if they know their wine, if their palate matches yours. It's ridiculous. That's one app. Forget it. Don't use apps for wine, for food. Trust the people that are actually at the establishment that taste those wines. Remember that you can ask me any opinion on any wine. If I've had it, I'll tell you what vintage I like. And if you trust my opinion and my palate matches up with you, then you can follow that. Follow the palate of somebody that knows you and knows wine, is an expert, and knows exactly what your taste would. Your wife, I don't care. Your wife is better, or your husband is better. If they know what you drink and wines that they've had with you, is better than the stupid app with strangers on there, okay? And so follow me here, and any questions you need, I'm here to help. I'm here to save you from that world of phone apps that rate different things, especially wine. And remember, yes, I understand that wine is not for snobs, it's for everyday people like you and me. But everyday people like you and me are smart enough to use the expert's opinion, who knows you personally, is a better hedge a hedge against getting a good recommendation versus some stranger on a phone app. Remember that? I'll see you next time. Throw away the apps.